Live from Kokomemle, broadcasting to all 16 regions of Ghana on the Joy News channel, on Facebook, on X Spaces, on YouTube, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. This is the AM News with me, Sweetie Abochi. Details now. The embattled New Patriotic Party Ashanti Regional Chairman, Bernard Enchi-Bosiako, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has spent last night in the custody of the Economic and Organized Crime Office, and Chairman Wontumi was taken back to EOCO's premises on Wednesday after he took ill on Tuesday during interrogations. He was granted a 50 million cedis bail last night, but had to spend the night in the custody of EOCO because he was unable to meet the bail conditions. James Aveji gives us the details.
Chairman Wontumi was officially granted bail at about 8 p.m. Wednesday night after a long day of interrogations and legal tussle between his lawyers and officials of EOCO. His lawyer, Andy Apiakubi, confirmed to Joy News that the bail conditions included 50 million Ghana cedis with two sureties to be justified, which at the time he said they were working around the clock to meet. But by 9:30 p.m., Andy Apiakubi said they were not able to meet the conditions, especially considering the fact that the sureties would have to be verified and admitted by EOCO at that time of the day. Failure to meet the conditions compelled Chairman Wontumi to spend the night in EOCO custody.
A handful of the supporters are here. I would describe them to be in their dozens. The number here this evening is not what we saw yesterday. About between 50 to 100 of them are gathered in the median of the Athamel's High Street here in front of the EOCO building. With a number of security officers as well. I count at least 10 to 12 security personnel, fully armed police officers already here. You have there in your shot, I want to believe, Godfrey Deboadami, the former Attorney General. He has just arrived here and making his way to the EOCO premises. He just alighted from his car. His car has been parked here for a while before we just went on air. He arrived here about some 5-7 minutes ago, and he's making his way into the EOCO premises. You have another police pickup just arriving with police officers adding up to the numbers. I saw at least 5 police officers alighting from that new arrival of a police pickup, adding up to the number, and so we should be having between 15 to 17 police officers manning the entrance of the police of the EOCO premises.
By 8:30 p.m., dozens of supporters who massed up on day 2 of his arrest had already left. His team of lawyers are resuming work this morning to meet the bail conditions to secure his freedom. James Savaji, EOCO headquarters, Accra.
Now, the District Director of Education for the Kaji District has expressed concern over the continued departure of teachers from the area. According to Seth Sayuamde, the situation is alarming as many teachers leave the district just a few years after accepting their postings, with some not showing up at all. He says this troubling trend leaves innocent learners to their fate. There's more in this report.
Most of our classrooms are empty. Most of the classrooms, some you have 2 to 3 teachers manning a whole primary school. Some of the KGs, we don't have teachers. It's a serious issue. And we wish our top officers can get teachers for us to augment the few we have.
That was the District Director for Education for Kaji District, Seth Sayuamde, lamenting the unavailability of adequate number of teachers to man the various classrooms at the basic level. His comment comes on the back of celebrating teachers in the district for their dedication to duty amid the unavailability of relevant teaching and learning materials. He mentions that this development could be due to some government policies where teachers would have to serve the nation after their training at the various colleges of education, and also how far the district is from major cities.
The number of teachers here, some go on release and some go on further studies, but a number coming in to replace because of some government policies where the teachers need to go and do national service after attending training college 1 year. It's affecting the number of teachers that we have in the classroom. It is affecting teaching and learning activities because when you don't have the full complement of the teachers, it becomes difficult, especially in the GHS. You see 2-3 teachers manning the whole THS where some have to teach courses that they were not well prepared for. And even in the primary school, some of the classrooms are empty. So it is a serious issue. And you know you must build the children from the KG. And we don't have the KG attendance, especially the trained ones from the college to do the needful. Meanwhile, once you can't read from the KG, it becomes difficult for you to read while going up. So it's a serious issue.
To deal with the phenomenon of lack of teachers in the district, the director wants his superiors to allow recruitment from the communities in order to fill vacancies created. The district chief executive for the area, Dr. Samsuraj, has also instituted a fund that would be used to reward teachers in the area in order to retain them in the classroom, adding that his focus would largely be on the interests of the teacher, having been a teacher himself over the past years.
Education, I think, is one of the priorities I am going to, work on. It's one of my key priorities. Infrastructure, teacher motivation, teacher welfare, teacher accommodation, and all that will do to motivate our teachers so they could give of their best at their various schools. I think it's going to be one of the things I'm going to work on as a district chief executive of KJB.
Some deserving teachers have been awarded for their dedication to duty. Peter Sanu for Joy News.
In other stories, Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025 took a unique turn as it was marked at the Cape Coast School for the Deaf and Blind. SEGRAD at UCC, in partnership with GES and Comfort, led the celebration with the director, Professor Eunice Faye Emisa, who said the move was to promote inclusivity and support the disadvantaged. Here's more.
Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025 was marked by the campaign theme, Buy a Pad for a Girl. The director of SEGRAD UCC, Professor Eunice Faye Emisa, explains the reason for the celebration at the Cape Coast School for the Deaf and Blind.
We are interested in this day because issues of menstruation borders issues of women and girls. So we felt that we needed to participate in this day. Previously, we do celebrate the day with flyers and social media campaigns, but we felt that today we needed to take an action, move forward, get closer to young boys and young girls, more especially the disadvantaged in our society, for them to also appreciate that we are here for them and that they are also part of the discussions that we have been having.
However, the Central Regional Education Director, Juliet Dufi-Otame, indicated that the celebration of menstrual hygiene extends beyond the provision of sanitary pads.
The Central Regional Education Directorate has received an impressive 85,328 boxes of sanitary pads, with more on the way. This celebration is not just about providing pads, it's about fostering an environment where all girls feel informed, empowered, and confident in managing their menstrual health. Let us remember that our work does not end with distribution. We must continue to organize educational programs, talks, and competitions to engage our students and foster a culture of understanding and support around menstrual hygiene.
Regional Girls Officer Priscilla Christabel Eshen revealed that celebrating the day at the Cape Coast Special School is to ensure equitable quality and inclusive education.
In our quest to attain SDG Goal 4, which emphasizes equitable quality and inclusive education, we chose Cape Coast School for the Deaf and Blind. And our aim is to ensure that the learners benefit from education on menstrual hygiene and also receive the necessary sanitary products they need to take care of themselves when they are in their menses. Last year, we created a pad bank in the regional directorate to solicit support to take care of our girls in all schools in the central region when they are in their menses. We are still appealing to everyone to come on board. Just drop a box of pad in the pad bank so that we don't want to continue celebrating the Menstrual Hygiene Day in Cape Coast. We want to move to the other parts of Central Region so that all learners in the region will benefit from this kind gesture.
Abraham Anangemusen is the head teacher of the school.
Today, they have received parts. Some received 2, 3, and yes. But the appeal is that we need more. We need more because you know these are girls, they need it. And after this program, if nobody comes to our aid, where are they going to get money to buy? Most of the parents are unable to afford for them. So if they are not careful, they'll be using unhygienic methods, which will affect them and will create health challenges for the school and for the parents and rest. So the appeal is that, please, we need parts. Come and support us so that these girls, you know, people take advantage of them because they don't have money to go and buy pad. So we want to make the appeal that when you look into your coffers, whatever quantity you can bring, please bring to come and support these girls especially because they are disadvantaged as well.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Lissel Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
Let's do some more health stories, because health authorities in the Ashanti region are ramping up surveillance on Mpox, though the region has yet to record a positive case. The Ghana Health Service says the region is on high alert as part of broader national efforts to contain the spread of the disease. Our reporter, Irabna Akwe, has more from Kumasi.
Speaking at a media briefing in Kumasi, the Ashanti Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Fred Aduma-Kobuatin, revealed that 10 suspected cases have been tested in the Ashanti region so far, all returning negative.
Currently, we have recorded some cases of Mpox in the country, but as we speak now in Ashanti region, we have suspected 10 of them and all of them are negative.
Dr. Aduma-Kobuatin emphasized that the disease, which spreads through close physical contact, requires clinicians to conduct thorough examinations, including private and less visible areas, to detect early signs of the infection.
Because we said that Mpox is also transmitted through physical close contact, we entreat our clinicians and other people that when you are examining people, make sure that you examine the private areas and the inner areas, because they can also have the rashes there and they are absent in the other places.
He also noted that people with underlying health conditions are at higher risk of severe illness and encouraged the public to manage any existing medical issues effectively.
People with different, having other challenges, they are likely to have it, and when they have it, also to develop severer forms of the disease. So make sure if you have any other problem, you are your medication so that it's controlled.
While there is currently no vaccine in use in Ghana, Dr. Aduma-Kobuatin assured that measures have been taken to manage suspected cases across health facilities.
For all the hospitals and facilities, we have sent an alert note. If you remember, our Director General, Prof. Kaba, sent us through the Ministry of Health, sent us a directory. We have sent all these alerts to all facilities, telling them things they should look out for when people have Mpox. Samples they are supposed to take, where we are supposed to take it, that's the first one. And every facility is also to ensure that they have what we call isolation area, so that when somebody is presenting with this and you think it's likely to be Mpox, you make sure at least that person is taken from the general OPD area and taken there.
Health officials continue to monitor the situation closely and are urging the public to report symptoms and avoid close contact with anyone suspected of being infected. Reporting for Joy News, Irabna Akwe, Kumasi.
Now, mental health advocate and founder of the Premier Rehabilitation Center, Jahara Osman, is calling on Ghanaians to prioritize their mental well-being as she prepares to host a major forum in Accra on Saturday, May 31st, 2025. The event, dubbed the Mental Health Forum, is expected to bring together policymakers, health professionals, faith leaders, and everyday citizens to confront Ghana's growing mental health crisis. A subject, Jahara Osman says, has long been silenced in homes, workplaces, and in churches. More in this report.
University of Give it to me.
In a country where conversations around mental health often remain behind closed doors, one woman is stepping forward, not just to talk, but to act. And her journey begins within.
I also have a condition called ADHD, which is attention hyperactive disorder, which is an internal disorder. So this is something that is very dear to me as I experienced it myself.
Jahara Osman lived with a reality she now fights to change. From misunderstanding behaviors in childhood to building a nationwide advocacy, her experience inspired the founding of Premier Rehabilitation Center and now the Mental Health Forum.
We're not just focusing on parents and children, we're focusing on adults in work environments that suffer from depression, anxiety. We're dealing with people who, for some reason, just when they suffer depression and anxiety, tend to some form of drugs or pills in order to calm their anxiety. We are here to focus on all these issues.
The Mental Health Forum, set for Saturday, 31st May, is a launch pad, one where industry experts, parents, teachers, and policymakers will gather to confront the growing crisis.
We are inviting everyone, we are inviting people who would benefit from the program, investors, stakeholders, to come join us on 31st to discuss what we can do as a society to provide the answers that are tailored to our own.
From children battling undiagnosed conditions to adults silently navigating depression and anxiety at work, Jahara says the silence is costing lives.
Mental health is the core foundation of every disease. If you're not mentally stable, you can get any sickness from just not being mentally stable. It's going to be like the base of everything. So let's focus on getting our own brain, our own functions at a stable level, and we would find out that a lot of these diseases that we suffer from will just eliminate itself.
They say I'm crazy. So me, I'm frank and free. I don't have a father. My father has passed away.
From June, her team will travel the country, from Ashanti to the north, taking mental health education to churches, schools, and workplaces. With backing from the Ministry of Health and the Mental Health Authority, as well as generous partners, the forum is free and it's for everyone.
So on behalf of Premier Rehabilitation Center, our partners and stakeholders, we officially launch the Mental Health Forum 2025.
So what can I add? Take your mental health seriously, and that takes us into our business update now with Benjamin Akakpo.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to our business updates, and we start with the currency market for today. Well, let's get into our stories now. And the African Development Bank has urged Ghana to fast-track structural transformation for rapid, inclusive and sustainable growth to address socio-economic challenges. This was contained in the bank's 2025 report at its annual meeting in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire. There's more in this report.
According to the bank, this is very crucial to reducing unemployment, income inequality and poverty. Poverty stood at 29.5% in 2023, while unemployment was at 13.7%. Income inequality was, however, high at 43.5% in 2022, compared with regional peers. The report pointed out that the 2022 Multidimensional Poverty Index showed that 24.8% of the population is multidimensionally poor, while an additional 20.0% is classified as vulnerable to multidimensional poverty. The World Bank in 2023 said extreme and overall poverty rates continue to decline in urban areas but are going up in rural areas. According to the Social Protection Program Spending and Household Welfare in Ghana report, extreme poverty was highly concentrated among households without formal education.
In our next story, the Chief Executive Officer of the Tree Crop Development Authority, Dr. Andy Osei Okra, says the authority is taking strategic steps to enhance the export of Ghana's tree crops. Now, speaking at the 9th Ghana CEO Summit in Accra, Dr. Okra noted that the authority was focusing on increasing the quality and volume of tree crops such as cashew, shea, coconut, and oil palm to meet growing international demand.
As you know, a Tree Crop Development Authority is responsible for regulating and then developing 6 selected tree crops, i.e. cashew, oil palm, rubber, shea, mango, coconut. So these are the 6 value chains that we are working with. And as we took over, there was a need for us to engage with all stakeholders and actors. So we quickly engaged the true people themselves, the farmers on the field, the traders, aggregators, exporters, and then processors. One key thing that we wanted to do is I want to make sure that they have a very conducive environment to work. And this is one of the sectors too that is also being dealt with a lot of challenges. So we needed to engage the people directly and ensure that we can ascertain from them what actually the solutions that we can prescribe. And it's gone very well. And we have come to at a point where we realize that as part of the government strategy and focus, value addition, and making sure that the president said we should feed Ghana in that order, feed Ghana industries with the raw materials. So we needed to do that. And these value chains also experience the same thing. We have an issue with cashew, we have issue with rubber, and then we have an issue with shea, the export raw rubber or export raw cashew and stuff like that, really affecting local production. So we needed to step in and see how best we can do that. So the recent trip was to engage stakeholders on a new directive that the TCDA brought, which means that effective 2nd May of this month, if any licensed exporter want to transport or export raw or unprocessed rubber, unprocessed cashew, unprocessed shea, then you needed the written permission and authority from TCDA before you can do that.
And from there, let's take a swing at our commodities market now. Well, that's how we cap off our business updates, but we're going right into sports in a bit. Definitely something we're going to tell you about. The Unity Cup and the Black Stars falling to the Nigerian Super Eagles. Muftau Nabila Abdullahi or Haruna Mubarak will be serving you that in a bit.